she texted, "I'm pregnant with twins," then posted it on Facebook before telling my family. Except I'd had a vasectomy 3 years earlier, something she didn't know. I replied, "Congratulations. Who's the father?" When her post got 347 likes before she saw my comment. I, 36 male, am an HVAC installer. I work for a mid-sized company doing residential and light commercial heating and cooling. I've been doing it for 14 years. I make about $68,000 a year, which goes further than it sounds because I don't have expensive habits. I drive a truck I bought used. My apartment is clean, paid on time, nothing fancy. I keep my finances simple because I grew up watching my parents make them complicated, and I decided early that I would not repeat that. 3 years before this story, I got a vasectomy. I was 33, single at the time, and certain I didn't want biological children. Not because I don't like kids. I coach youth baseball in the spring. I have nieces and nephews I'd take a bullet for, but because I made a decision about my own body and my own life, and I followed through. The procedure took 20 minutes. I did my follow-up sperm analysis at the 3-month mark, confirmed 0 count. I have the lab results in a folder in my filing cabinet. I am, medically and definitively, sterile. I did not tell anyone except my doctor, the nurse, and my older brother. Not my parents, not my friends, not any woman I dated afterward. Why? Because it's nobody's business what I do with my reproductive organs. My brother knows because he drove me home from the procedure. That's it. This becomes important. My girlfriend and I had been together for about 2 years. She works as an assistant property manager for a rental company, handles tenant complaints, lease renewals, maintenance requests. She makes around $42,000. We don't live together. I have my apartment. She has hers. We stayed at each other's places 3 or 4 nights a week, but we never combined households. She'd pushed for it a few times. I'd said I wasn't ready. That was a source of tension, but not a deal breaker. Or so I thought. She's social in a way I'm not. Big Facebook presence, posts multiple times a day, photos of everything, meals, outfits, us together, inspirational quotes over sunset backgrounds. She has about 900 friends on there, though I'd guess she actually knows maybe 200 of them. Her entire life is narrated publicly, which I always found slightly exhausting, but chalked up to a generational thing. I have a Facebook I log into about twice a year to wish people happy birthday. Our relationship was fine. Not fireworks, not fighting, just steady. She wanted more commitment. I wanted more time. We were negotiating that gap the way most couples do, with occasional arguments followed by a week of being extra nice to each other. Then, on a Wednesday afternoon, while I was in a crawl space running ductwork in a new construction build, I got a text. "Babe, I have the most amazing news. I'm pregnant. With twins. Party popper baby, I just found out at the doctor. I'm so happy. We're going to be a family." I was lying on my back in a crawl space, insulation fibers in my hair, holding a sheet metal elbow in one hand and my phone in the other. I read the text twice. Then I set the phone down on my chest and stared at the floor joists above me for about a full minute. Let me walk you through my thought process, because it was surprisingly calm. Step 1. I have had a vasectomy. Step 2. My vasectomy was confirmed successful via lab analysis. Step 3. I have not had a reversal. Step 4. The failure rate of vasectomy after confirmed azoospermia is approximately 1 in 2,000 to 1 in 4,000. Step 5. Twins. Step 6. These are not my children. There was no ambiguity. There was no, maybe the vasectomy failed. There was no, I should get retested just to be sure. I had a confirmed 0 sperm count. She was pregnant with twins. The math wasn't math. It was a brick wall. I lay there in the crawl space, and I felt, weirdly, nothing. Not anger, not sadness. Just this flat, heavy recognition. Like when you hear a weird noise in your truck and the mechanic tells you it's the transmission. You don't cry. You don't yell. You just go, well, that's expensive. Except this wasn't expensive. This was free. Because she'd just given me every answer I needed in one text message. I climbed out of the crawl space. Went to my truck. Sat there for about 5 minutes. Then I checked Facebook. She'd already posted it. Already. Before I'd even responded to her text. The post was time-stamped 4 minutes after the text she'd sent me. It was a photo of a positive pregnancy test. One of those digital ones that says pregnant, laid on a white marble countertop with baby booties and two tiny onesies that said Thing 1 and Thing 2. She'd staged a whole photo shoot. She'd bought props. This wasn't spontaneous. This was planned content. The caption read, "We're expecting twins. Baby, I can't believe this is happening. Our little family is growing, and I have never been this happy. Baby daddy doesn't know about the Facebook announcement, yet shushing face with tears of joy, but surprise, babe. Love you so much. Hashtag pregnant, hashtag twins, hashtag blessed, hashtag mamaftwo, hashtag baby bump." It already had about 90 likes and climbing. Comments pouring in. OMG, congratulations. You're going to be the best mom. Twins run in my family too. Her mom had commented with 16 heart emojis. Her sister wrote, Annie times 2. My own mother, my mother, had commented, "Oh my goodness. So happy for you both." My mother found out my girlfriend was pregnant from a Facebook post before I'd even replied to the text. Let that sit. I looked at the post. I looked at the likes. I looked at her caption, "Baby daddy doesn't know about the Facebook announcement yet." And I thought about how she was right. I didn't know about the announcement. I also knew something she didn't know about me. And for the first time in our relationship, that asymmetry was going to work in my favor. I typed a comment. Under her post. Public. Visible to all 900 friends and anyone else who could see it. Congratulations. Who's the father? Smiling face with smiling eyes. Then I turned my phone off and went back to work. Update 1. 5 days later. By the time I turned my phone back on 3 hours later, the post had 214 likes, and my comment had detonated like a grenade in a confetti factory. The responses to my comment fell into 3 categories. Category 1. Confused. Wait, what? Is this a joke? Haha, very funny, babe. Category 2. Horrified. Oh no. Delete this. Somebody call somebody. Category 3. People who immediately understood exactly what was happening and had nothing to say but a series of wide-eye emojis. Her best friend had replied to my comment. He's joking. Obviously, this is his sense of humor. Except it wasn't my sense of humor. I don't have a sense of humor about being cheated on. Nobody does. My phone had 31 missed calls. My girlfriend, 9. Her mom, 4. Her sister, 3. My mom, 6. My brother, 2. Various friends, the rest. I called my brother first because he's the only person who knew about the vasectomy, and I needed someone who understood the situation without me having to explain it. My brother picked up on the first ring. He said, "Please tell me the Facebook comment means what I think it means." I said, "I've had a vasectomy for 3 years. She's pregnant with twins." He said, "So those are definitely not mine." "No." He exhaled. Then he said, "You need to call mom before she has a stroke. She's called me 4 times, asking what's going on." I called my mom. My mom, who had commented 16. Wait, no, that was her mom. My mom had written, "Oh my goodness. So happy for you both," on a post announcing a pregnancy that was biologically impossible for me to have caused. I felt bad for her. She was about to be unhappy real fast. I told my mom the truth. The short version. I said, "Mom, I had a vasectomy 3 years ago. Those are my kids. I didn't know she was pregnant because I'm not the one who got her pregnant." My mom went silent for about 10 seconds. Then she said, "A vasectomy? 3 years ago, and you didn't tell me?" Mom, focus. Right? Oh my God. Oh, that girl. I told my mom not to post anything, not to call anyone, not to engage on Facebook. I said I was handling it. She said okay in the tone that means I will try, but I make no promises. I did not call my girlfriend. Not yet. I let her marinate. She'd texted me approximately 30 more times since the comment, ranging from, "What was that comment?" to "Call me right now," to "Why aren't you answering?" to "I'm coming to your apartment," to "You better have a good explanation." She showed up at my apartment at around 8 p.m. I was on the couch, eating a sandwich, watching a baseball game. She let herself in with the keys she had, and she was already talking before she closed the door. "What was that comment? Do you know how many people saw that? My mom is freaking out. My sister called me crying. Everyone thinks you just accused me of cheating on Facebook." I muted the TV. I didn't accuse you of anything. I asked a question. A question. Who's the father is not a question. It's an accusation. You are the father. Who else would it be? I don't know. That's why I asked. What is wrong with you? I'm pregnant with your twins, and They're not mine. She stopped. What? They're not mine. I can't have children. I had a vasectomy 3 years ago. I have seen a lot of expressions on a lot of faces in my life. I have never seen anything like what happened on her face in the next 5 seconds. It was like watching someone's operating system crash and reboot in real time. The anger disappeared. The indignation disappeared. What replaced it was pure, liquid panic. You what? Vasectomy. 3 years ago. Confirmed sterile. 0 sperm count. Lab results are in my filing cabinet, if you need to see them. That's no. Those can fail. Vasectomies fail. I read about it. They fail a rate of roughly 1 in 4,000 after confirmed azoospermia. I've been confirmed. These are my children. She sat down on the arm of the couch. She was doing math in her head. I could see it. She was running through her options: lie, deflect, cry, confess, and calculating which one had the best odds. She chose cry. I don't know how this happened. I swear. Maybe there was a mix-up at the doctor. Maybe the test was wrong. The pregnancy test, the vasectomy test. I had a confirmed 0 count 3 years ago. That doesn't reverse itself. It could, though. It didn't. She cried harder. Then she tried a different approach. She said, even if something happened, I love you. I want to be with you. We can figure this out. People get through things like this. Who is he? It doesn't matter. It matters to me. She wouldn't say. She said it was complicated and that she'd made a mistake and that I was the one she wanted. She begged me not to tell anyone about the vasectomy. She said, nobody needs to know the details. We could just say it didn't work out. I said, 347 people liked your post. Your mom commented. My mom commented. You announced this publicly before you even told me privately. The details are already out there. I just added one more. She left that night. I took the key back before she walked out the door. She didn't fight me on it. She was in survival mode, trying to figure out how to manage the narrative, not the relationship. The relationship was already dead. She just hadn't filed the paperwork yet in her head. Update 2.5 weeks later. Last update. I've been sitting on this for a bit because the final chapter took a while to play out and I wanted to give you the complete picture. After she left my apartment, the fallout split into 2 separate but equally chaotic tracks, the public track and the private track. Public track first. The Facebook post was still up. My comment was still there. She hadn't deleted any of it. I think because deleting it would have confirmed what everyone was starting to suspect. So it just sat there, collecting views and increasingly awkward comments. People who'd initially congratulated her were going back and editing their comments or deleting them entirely. The comment section went from "Congrats Mama" to a graveyard of deleted messages and "This comment has been removed" placeholders. She finally took the post down about 48 hours after my comment. By then, it had over 340 likes, 89 comments, and had been screenshot by at least a dozen people. The internet never forgets, and small-town Facebook definitely never forgets. After the post came down, she posted a follow-up. A text post, no photo. It said, I'm going through something really personal right now, and I'd appreciate privacy and support from my real friends. Not everything is what it looks like, and there are 2 sides to every story. Please don't believe everything you read online. The comments on that post were even more brutal than the original, because by then, people had connected the dots. Multiple people, not me, not my brother, not my mom, had independently started asking the obvious question: if the boyfriend says who's the father, there's probably a reason. Her vague, not everything is what it looks like statement only fueled the speculation. I posted nothing. I stayed completely off social media. My brother posted nothing. My mom, miraculously, posted nothing, though she told me later it was the hardest thing she'd ever done, which I think is an exaggeration, but I appreciate the effort. Now the private track. Her mom called me 2 days after the apartment confrontation. Her mom is a hairdresser with a client list that doubles as a gossip network. She'd been fielding questions from clients all day. She was not happy. I need you to explain to me what is going on, because my daughter is at my house sobbing and she won't give me a straight answer. Your daughter is pregnant. I'm not the father. I'm physically unable to be the father. She says you're the father and that you're doing this to punish her for posting on Facebook without asking you first. I had a vasectomy 3 years ago. I have the medical documentation. Your daughter is pregnant by someone else. Long pause. A vasectomy? Yes, ma'am. And she didn't know? No. So when she posted that announcement, she announced a pregnancy and attributed it to me. I can't be the father. So I asked who is. Her mom was quiet for a while. I could hear the gears turning. Then she said something that told me everything about where her priorities were. Well, even if that's true, you didn't have to humiliate her publicly. You could have handled this privately. She posted the announcement publicly. She tagged me. She told 900 people I was the father before she even told me she was pregnant. She made it public. I asked one question, a question that destroyed her reputation. Her choices destroyed her reputation. I just asked for clarification. Her mom hung up. That was the last time she called me. Her sister tried a different angle. She sent me a DM on Instagram, one of the few platforms I'm actually reachable on, asking if we could talk this through like adults. I agreed. She called me. Her sister's pitch was creative. She said, "Look, I know things look bad, but my sister is terrified and she's pregnant and she needs support, not judgment. Whatever happened with whoever, she wants to be with you. She chose you. Can't you just move past this? She's pregnant with another man's twins. People make mistakes. Having an affair isn't a mistake. It's a series of decisions. Getting pregnant during an affair isn't a mistake. It's a consequence. Announcing that pregnancy on Facebook and tagging me as the father when she knew, or should have known, that it wasn't possible, that's not a mistake either. That's fraud. You keep saying fraud. You can't fraud a Facebook post. You can fraud a man into raising children that aren't his. That's called paternity fraud. It's a real thing. Her sister didn't have a comeback for that. She said, "I feel like you're being really cold about this," and hung up. Here's the thing nobody in her family wanted to address. Who is the father? Because that person exists. Somewhere out, there is a man who got my girlfriend pregnant with twins, and nobody on her side was even acknowledging that this person was relevant. I found out who it was about a week later. Not because I investigated, because he contacted me. I got a message on Facebook from a guy I didn't recognize. He said, "Hey man, I think we need to talk. I'm the person your girlfriend was seeing. I didn't know about you until the Facebook thing. She told me she was single." He was a maintenance tech at one of the properties her company manages. They've been seeing each other for about 4 months. He said he'd found out about me when the pregnancy post went viral in their shared professional circles. He said he felt sick about it and wanted to do the right thing. I wasn't angry at him. I told him that. He didn't know about me. She'd lied to both of us. I wished him luck with the situation and told him the twins were probably something he needed to talk to her about, not me. He thanked me. We never spoke again. That was the final piece. She hadn't just cheated on me. She'd maintained a parallel relationship for 4 months with a man she told I didn't exist. She'd gotten pregnant and decided to pin it on me. The boyfriend with the good job, the stable income, the apartment she wanted to move into. The maintenance tech at $16 an hour wasn't the life she'd envisioned for the announcement post. I was the better Facebook story. That's what it came down to. I was the version of fatherhood that got more likes. After the other man's message, I was done. Fully, completely done. I blocked her on everything. Changed my apartment locks just to be thorough, even though I'd already taken the key back. Told our mutual friends the truth when they asked, calmly, factually, without editorializing. Most of them already knew or suspected. My mom wanted to say something to her mom. I told her not to. My mom said, "Can I at least unfriend her on Facebook?" I said yes. That was within her rights. My mom unfriended her with what I can only describe as vindictive satisfaction. The last thing I heard through the grapevine, she's living with her parents. The maintenance tech, to his credit, stepped up and said he'd be involved with the twins. Whether that means financially, emotionally, or both, I don't know. That's not my story anymore. She's doing about 5 months. The property management company she works for found out about the situation because the other man works for one of their contracted maintenance vendors. There was an HR conversation. She wasn't fired, Company relationships aren't technically prohibited, but the maintenance tech contract was moved to a different property. She reportedly told HR, "I was a jealous ex who orchestrated a smear campaign." HR apparently asked zero follow-up questions about that claim, which tells you everything you need to know about how corporate HR operates. I'm back to normal. Working, coaching youth baseball, living in my apartment that is exactly the right size for one person. My brother came over last weekend, and we watched a game, and he said, "You handled that whole thing way better than I would have." I said, "I was lying in crawl space when I found out. There's something about being flat on your back surrounded by insulation that forces you to be calm." He laughed. I laughed. It was the first time I'd laughed about any of it. The vasectomy remains the best $800 I've ever spent. My filing cabinet still has the lab results. My Facebook comment is screenshot on at least a dozen phones across our social circle, preserved forever as the moment the truth walked into a pregnancy announcement and introduced itself. That's it. That's the whole thing. Thanks for reading. Go check your medical records are in order, people. You never know when documentation saves your life.